Hi everyone, so first video review for this week is for Liquid Courage by Shea. If you want to check out my review, I did just post that, so if you're on YouTube there's a link in the description below, and if you're on Facebook or on my blog then there is a link within the post. And this is the video review. So Liquid Courage by Shea. This is Stephanie's debut novel. I've read a novella that she did before, so I was looking forward to finding out what her full-length novel would be like, and it was really angsty and it was really dramatic. So it's about Alex. Her life is sort of one big mess. It's kind of full of overwhelming feelings and emotions that are sort of messing with her head and her heart, and she's kind of torn between a relationship with her best friend, a relationship with someone she desires, this woman she desires in her local coffee shop who's caught her eye, and just what all those feelings mean and all these situations and everything happening, and then when her past catches up with her, it sort of adds a new level of complication to all her feelings and circumstances, and she's kind of torn by everything that she feels and the situation she finds herself in, and she's got some difficult decisions to make, basically. It's really a fast-paced story, and it has a lot of darker elements. Some people may find those a bit triggering, but I was okay with them. But there are quite a few. They're really kind of just mentioned. They're not overly detailed from what I can remember, to the point that I felt that they would be affecting, but they're mentioned, and therefore they may trigger some, but overall it led to a really angsty and dramatic story, and they were the kind of things I'd expect from this type of story. So Alex had a lot going on, she had a lot to figure out. Stereotypically at times it went hand in hand with the lifestyle she leads and her background, like where she's from, and the sort of pressure of making decisions for her was very difficult because there was a lot of expectation surrounding that, but a lot of the time she was torn between thoughts and feelings. So her heart was feeling one thing, her head was thinking another, and she was kind of tortured by memories and desires on top of that. So she was quite a flawed character. She had a lot going on, she had a lot to overcome, and she was a bit disastrous at times. She was really sort of at the epicenter of her own mess, if you like, but she did have quite a stressful life and reputation to live up to, so I understand how she's sort of found herself in this position. What was interesting was sort of how the story developed. It had two parts, so it seemed at times like this was technically two separate stories that both sort of involved Alex. So the first part, where her past wasn't so much involved, but she knew she had those demons, and then the second where it really did turn up out of the blue and start changing things and change her, and it just really haunted her and messed with her and her feelings and her thoughts and everything. So there were a few flashbacks in the second part, and they gave a bit of insight into why Alex was acting like she was crazy at times, but that really sort of added to the drama, and it gave context, which was really important for understanding the story. And it did flip between those quite often in that second part, so you really had to concentrate to follow what was happening. But once you determined that you had these flashbacks now coming, because it wasn't something that was prominent in the first part of the story, you realised that's the path it was taking. So for a debut novel, I really enjoyed the story, and it was a good story. It was kind of interesting to experience how Stephanie's storytelling, how it differed from her novellas, and that obviously I've read previously because they were shorter, and so the two parts of this were almost like I say, two short stories in a novel form, because they had the one character, but you were in the present, and then you were sort of in the present but with hints of the past. So perhaps we'll see Alex again in the future. I hope we do. I think there's as a character she has a lot of development still left to do, and she has a lot of things still to overcome. So I think, you know, having experienced this journey with her, I think there's potential for a future story, to just explain more about her and give her character more of a chance to develop beyond the mess that she was just getting out of in this story. So I really enjoyed it. It was really something a little bit different, and it was a good debut. So I will pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of Liquid Courage by Shea if you want to, which I hope you will. If you do grab a copy, or if you have read Liquid Courage by Shea, then please let us know. Please comment below. It's always great to hear what you have been reading, or what you thought of the story. If you haven't read Liquid Courage by Stephanie Shea, but it's something you're interested in reading, it's on your to-be-read list, or you're thinking, I must read that story, again, comment below, because it's always great to hear what you're interested in reading. And if you do read it, I really hope you enjoy it. Bye!